and as it relates to the name, just another name search on that, but that's pretty much it. And we've been aware of that, and we're working on those activities in parallel.
Great, thanks so much.
Thanks.
Our next question will come from the line of Seamus Fernandez from Guggenheim. You may begin.
Hey there, this is Alana on for Seamus. Thanks for taking our question, and congrats on a quick turnaround with the Working Cell Bank. So we just have a question regarding any potential range of options that you're considering for financing the company beyond 23. And in particular, any interest in a royalty transaction that would not only raise capital but validate the potential peak sales around DAXI. Any color on that would be great. Thank you.
Thanks, Alana. This is Toby Schilke. As we noted on the call, we have sufficient cash to fund our operations into 2023. Given our revenue profile and late stage that we are with DAXI, we have optionality. Obviously, extending our cash runway is a key priority. And, we'll take a thoughtful approach for a variety of financing strategies to balance where we are with our cash needs. So while we can't comment on the specifics, we are taking this as a top priority.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Bye.
Our next question will come from the line of David Amsellem from Piper Sandler. You may begin.
Hey, thanks. So just a couple on RHA. With the approval, I think that's the RHA1 SKU. Can you talk about the extent to which that could provide an incremental bump in the sales trajectory, or just talk about that opportunity in general? And then just secondly, just a broader question about the market here. Obviously, you had a good first year, and the product's growing. I know you've said in Europe the share is something like 9 or 10%. Do you think that's where peak share could be in the United States? Do you think it could be higher? How do you think about that in general? Thanks.
Thanks, David. I'll have Dustin answer the first part of that, and then maybe I'll take a crack at a little bit the back part of it.
Sure. So yeah, thanks, David. So we're really excited about the approval of RHA Redensity, which you did mention was formerly called RHA1, as the only approved filler for dynamic perioral rhytids or lip lines. The perioral region is a bit challenging to treat because of the structure and the facial anatomy. So we feel that RHA Redensity will give us a unique opportunity and add yet another tool in the toolbox for our injectors. RHA is built off of a technology that allows it to mimic the most natural HA, and that continues between RHA 2, 3, and 4 and RHA Redensity. So we look at this being a nice addition, and it allows us to continue to kind of talk about our innovation profile. As it relates to kind of volume, as you'll imagine, lip lines and small, more superficial areas isn't a high volume utilization of a filler, nor is it the first thing most people come in for. We feel like it's a nice icing on the cake that allows us to continue to kind of highlight the portfolio. So within the filler space, you see that we'll constantly use this constant stream of innovation to keep being relevant, training new injectors, allow us to continue to highlight that technology. So with that, I'll pass it over to Mark.
Yeah, just I think, David, on your comments about market share, what we previously said that, Teoxane in their top 5 EU markets had roughly a 10% share. And, our share of the market right now depends a little bit on, kind of what data you're looking at for the market. The last data we had was, sort of about $1.1 billion in the U.S. And so, we're trending towards a high single-digit penetration right now. The market continues. We certainly don't feel that there are constraints in our opportunity in terms of, penetration that's, going to be limited to where Teoxane is in their top market. And partly because there's, fewer competitors in the U.S. And we do think that once our neuromodulator is approved, that it's going to allow us to compete certainly more effectively from a bundling standpoint and meeting all the needs of the injector. So we certainly are pleased with, where we are from a start, and we do believe that once our neuromodulator is approved, that it's, going to give us additional opportunity to continue to drive deeper into these accounts.
Okay, helpful. Thank you.
Thanks, David.
Our next question will come from the line of Annabel Samimy from Stifel. You may begin.
Hi, all. Thanks for taking my question and congratulations on the progress. I suppose you're not commenting on the timing of the resubmission, but in the past you've talked about hoping to get a launch before the end of the year and approval by the end of the year. Are you still planning on that if everything on the regulatory front goes according to plan following resubmission? And then secondly, Revance has been making quite an effort building up the aesthetics platform and working closely with practices with Opal and the fintech platform. And it may be premature to ask this, but would any of these activities be precluded when you start adding therapeutics indications? And have you given any further thought to whether aesthetics and therapeutics should be under the same umbrella? Thanks.
Good questions there, Annabelle. So let me try and work through them. So on the launch timing, we continue to be ready and prepared for launch, when it happens. What we've said is that, following the resubmission, we would expect to get a new 6-month PDUFA clock given the agency's indication that a reinspection will be required. And given sort of where we are with the qualification of the cell bank, we're certainly hopeful to get our application in as soon as possible and sort of with a 6-month clock after that. 2022 is very much a priority for us in terms of getting DAXI approval. Shifting over to kind of the aesthetics therapeutics fintech, once we move into therapeutics, does it in any way challenge our ability to continue to focus on the aesthetic initiatives that we've laid out? No, we don't believe so at all. I mean, the fintech platform, we believe, sort of stands on its own and is an important part of our products and services offering in the facial injectable category. The one thing that we've long talked about is that there will be price linkage between aesthetic and therapeutic, but that's the same with all the other competitors that are in that market. We think there's a lot of value that we can unlock on the therapeutic side, and so we're going to continue to try and build a great